All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. There we go. We got my face up there. Welcome back. Feels good to be back. We're going to be going right into some analysis this morning. And of course, this analysis never meant to be a prediction of any kind. I'm just going to go over some of the details and why those details have led me to looking for certain weekly templates, the templates for the day, and over the course of this week, the types of things that I should be looking for based off of what has presented last week and on Friday. All right, so I'm going to get my chart all set up here. We're going to start out with the NASDAQ up here, making sure everything's set up so you all can see everything. Before I get started, thank you for reminding me. Just got to make sure everybody knows. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. If you want to read this, pause the stream, read it, or you can go down to the description of every one of my videos, and this is down there as well. Okay, we're going to start out with the NASDAQ, like I said. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. In fact, I'm going to go to a longer time frame. And the same thing as always, I'm going to be looking for the signal days. I'm going to look at how last week closed, how yesterday closed, what type of week we had last week, and that's going to help me to develop ideas and a thesis for going into today. We're looking for things like first red day, first green day, inside days, 3 days of breakouts, and then paying attention to the overall big picture as far as, how many weeks of breakouts, what kind of week was last week. Like failed breakouts at the high and low of the month, or just failed breakouts in general. Maybe we even have a first red week last week, which could give me a larger weekly thesis going into this week. All right, so starting out on NASDAQ, I already have pretty much all of my annotations up there. This isn't meant to be an analysis video or live stream. This is meant to be me focused on trading and hopefully providing value through that. Because as we're going through, and I'm going to start talking out loud, reminders of things like where we're at within a 15-minute bar, a 5-minute bar, or an hour. If we're getting close to news events, making sure I'm paying attention to those news events and, watching for those time rotations. Because once a setup starts to be present, and once things start to look like, hey, I should be watching this market, I should be looking to enter, I have to figure out where to enter. Is my entry criteria playing out? And those are all the types of things where I'm going to try and be as verbal as I can and kind of think out loud for you all, so that hopefully over time, as I continue to do these live streams, it helps you all build a good thought process as well. All right, I know I've said I'm going to do the NASDAQ now like 5 times, and I get sidetracked. I'm like a little squirrel with a nut. All right, so we've got week 1 down now on the NASDAQ. We've been going up higher and higher and higher on this pair for lots of weeks. I'm not going to sit here and count all this, but look at these red lines. The red lines are the previous month's high and low. The green are the previous week's high and low. And then the black thin lines are going to be your previous day's high and low. And then the purple is the previous day's closing price. So lots of weeks of breakouts to the upside. Finally getting what appears to be a failed breakout at, 2 weeks ago. And that would have been a first red week as well. And then last week we did get the capitulation down, which was great. And that gives us our first week now of breakouts to the downside. Big picture wise, looking good. What does that mean? Week 1 down. Well, that means that the overall market has broke out to the downside. And a few things could happen. Number 1, we could break out, pull back, and continue to trend, which would be a good 3-day template for a pump and a dump, right? We have week 1 down. Maybe we're going to get a pump up, and then maybe the back half of the week turns into the dump. Or maybe 1 or 2 days of pump and then a dump. Or maybe just 1 day of pump and then some dump. That could be anything for breakout, pullback, trend. Those are the types of templates that I would be looking for. Breakout, fail, and reverse. That would be like a failed breakout. Well, we've broken out now, and I have to watch that level as this week continues to make sure that this doesn't turn into a failed breakout now from that level. That could be like a reset, and the market would just continue to trend higher, kind of like it did over here. Okay, so week one breakouts down. Now looking at how many days of breakouts. We had the first day of breakouts here, the second day here, and the third day here. Those third day of breakouts being they've broken out, they've closed, they've broken out, they've closed, they've broken out, and they've closed outside of the previous day's range. That leads us into today. Big picture is down, but 3 days of breakouts down. Again, if we are looking at a potential pump and a dump template, that means that they would have to pump back up first. So number one, today I am looking for sell high opportunities. I'm going to look to sell from previous day's high, the high of the day, and all those different things. But in my notes over the weekend, when I was doing my analysis over the weekend, some of the notes that I had were exactly what I just said. If they have to pump back up, and if it's going to turn into a 3-day template this week of pump, 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 dump, 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 I have to be careful that it doesn't short squeeze today on a Monday, and I'm not trying to counter trend something that's just going to continue to trail higher today. So I'm keeping that in mind, but overall looking for a sell high opportunity. And hopefully you all just caught all of those notes because they are really important for the thought process. If you didn't, make sure to rewind and grab that. Okay. Moving on to US30, we've got a lot of really nice templates building this week. Just from last week alone, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Not to say that there's going to be anything great this week for sure. I can never predict what's going to happen, but from past experience, I do enjoy what I am seeing. All right, US30, week one of breakouts was back over here. They never triggered previous week's low. And then they just continued to break out and trend. So that was week one of breakouts here. They broke out, they closed higher. And then we broke out, we closed higher over here on this week as well. And then the third week of breakouts was last week. And they did actually close on the outside of the previous week's range. So I've just gone and labeled that as the third week of breakouts. Big picture. Narrowing it down. Last week we also had this first red day. It was a lower low. And then we had day one of breakouts on Friday. So they broke out and they closed outside of the previous day's range to the downside. And very similar to the NASDAQ, I'm going to be looking for the same things, sell high, based off of this week close and the fact that we're starting to either pull back aggressively. We're still in breakout to the upside, so I need to be aware of that. But looking for those sell high templates here as well. This day one of breakouts, usually with day one of breakouts, you're looking for 3 levels of rise. Coming off the low of the day or coming off the previous day's low, which actually does put us just about at the... Nope, it actually puts us almost perfectly at the high of the day. All right, 150 pips off the previous day's low. So I'm watching the high of the day. And I'm going to be watching that at 9:30. Both indexes, both NASDAQ and US30, watching 9:30, watching the high of the day for that sell high opportunity. All right, going on to gold. Notice I'm going to be using the futures gold because of the issues that the market was having or the data was having last week. Kind of messed all this up. This is normally the chart that I would use for my analysis, but I'm going to be using the futures contract gold as well as platinum and silver. All right, taking a look at gold, we'll look at the big picture first. And actually, I need to go back to US30 real quick. Just make sure one thing. Okay, day one, day two. So this is actually going to be day 3 of the 3-day cycle as well today. This was day 1, failed breakout at the high of the current week on Thursday. Day 2 of the 3-day cycle, we're trending away from day 1 highs. And then now we're into day 3 of the cycle on this Monday. Going to gold. Big picture. Breakouts week 1, breakouts week 2, breakouts week 3, failed breakout now at the high of the current month. High of the current month, breakouts. This could, or a failed breakout, excuse me. So this would technically be week 1 of the 3-week cycle. Are we going to trend away from week 1 highs? Back down. We will see. All right, so I got that note up there, failed breakout. Now, we also had a first red day on Wednesday. Day 1 of breakouts on Thursday. Day 2 of breakouts on Friday. There was really no pop-up for a continuation at all. It just exploded and ran on that Friday, but we did have a very weak close on that. So again, same thing today, same as the other two templates, looking for that sell high. Same exact thoughts as well about gold as I do with the indexes. If it's going to be a pump and a dump template, or if I'm expecting a pump and a dump template, I need to watch out for a short squeeze today, because I don't want to see them, squeeze back up for a couple days and then roll over. I need to watch the low of Monday's range to make sure I don't get squeezed out. All right, so I'm definitely not going to be selling into the low of this current week. We're developing the opening range for the week. Not going to, jump the gun and start trying to sell this at the low of this current week. Compared to like NASDAQ, where at the very least we're pumping back up and we could be creating the high of the week. That makes me feel good. I'm looking to sell. Whereas this, if it were to pump back to the high of the day, that'd be fine. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what the market's going to do. I'm not going to sit here and try and predict. All I'm saying right now is I am watching high of day, closing price. Maybe they dump down through previous day's low, for example. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to predict, but I do want to see the different levels, or I want to explain to you all the different levels. Previous day's low, only three things markets do. We could break out and pull back to previous day's low, maybe into closing price or something like that, and that would validate or give me the criteria that I would need for the pump and then the dump, where we've made a low, we've pumped back up, and that gives me my space to get my reward back down through. Whereas if we continue to just dump down like this, I'm not just going to chase price and sell into that. So I would like to see that pump up. All right. Okay. Day two breakouts. We've had a weak close. You can kind of see the little rectangle it's formed. And if you couldn't, there it is. Checking y'all's comments. Once I get through the analysis, I'll go back to you all's comments and see what y'all are saying. Okay, this is gold. So, first red week last week. We've been, like I said, going higher, higher, higher. Week one of the 3-week cycle. This was where the week opened, or the previous week's close. And this is how we closed last week, down underneath of that. Failed breakout, first red week. Again, the reasons for why I'm looking for them to pump it back up and dump it back down. Okay. Good. Like what I'm seeing. Platinum. Platinum's one I've never taken a trade on, but somebody from my webinar class actually told me about it and said, hey, this chart is trading really clean, and I went and checked it out. I got to say, I kind of like it. So I'm going to continue watching this as one of the metals that I observe and watch. I know a lot of people in the Discord take trades on platinum. I just never have, but it looks nice, so I'm going to keep watching it. So with platinum, big picture-wise, we had week one of breakouts over here. I'm not going to count how many weeks back that is, but a few weeks back. And then now we've been kind of just in this consolidated range here. And kind of down over here, right? We had this 3 or 4 weeks of sideways consolidation. And then now we have week one of breakouts back down to the downside. All right, this would have been a big pumping week over here. This was not a first red week. This was not a first red week. This was a first red week. All right, so we had a first red week and an inside week over here 2 weeks ago. Inside week. In fact, I'll put that up there because that is important information. Oh, first. All right, first red week. Boy, if my typing skills get any worse. There we go. Okay, we had an inside week and a first red week, and then now this previous week we had week one of breakouts down. Again, similar to all of the other templates that I've just talked about. Looking for a pump up for it to dump back down. And similar to gold, it's been dumping down instead of pumping up for the day. So got a little bit of things to wait for. Watching the low of the day, making sure I don't get squeezed out of a short. I want to see them pop up, pump back up towards the high of the day. Closing price, previous day's low. If they break out a previous day's low, they can pump it back up to previous day's low, and that will give me my short trade. Things like that. But overall, looking to sell high if at all possible. And that is the kind of template I am looking for. Week one of breakouts. So let's narrow it down a little bit more. Let's see. We had a failed breakout at the high of the current week over here, giving us our first red day as well last week on a Wednesday. Day 1 of the 3-day cycle. Day 2 of the cycle trended away from day 1 highs. That first red day trade on Wednesday, excuse me. On Thursday. Boy, I'm just losing it one day at a time. Thursday, and then Friday, we had a breakout day, and I actually really can't tell if that broke out and closed outside. But day 1 breakouts, I think that was day 2 breakouts. It's kind of hard to tell. Different brokers probably have different closes, but I'm just going to say day 2 breakouts. And a fairly weak close, but not really, because this is really no change. We opened here, we closed here, not by much. Okay. That doesn't change anything. Everything's still the same. We'll go to silver. Okay, another similar template. This is a failed breakout at the high of, just making sure, current month. So week 1, week 2. Week 2 of the cycle has broke out to the downside. So week 1, week 2, week 1 breakouts. And then setting us up for today, this is the 3rd day of breakouts. Kind of like the NASDAQ? Week 1 breakouts down, day 3 breakouts down. Week 1 breakouts down, day 3 breakouts down. Again, looking for the same exact thing. Nothing has changed from any of these templates that I have talked about today. They are all very similar, and I am looking for the same things. All right, making lower lows, lower highs. Now, it is day 3 breakouts, and it is the opening range for the week, so I have to be very cautious of that. But again, looking for pop-ups for a pump and a dump. Maybe just a session trade for the day, if I can. Okay, oil. Again, like I said, the reason I really like this last week is because a lot of the templates are setting up very similar. Okay, looking back, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. We had a breakout week over here. Now, we've had lots of weeks of breakouts, 1, 2, and then this was the 3rd, and this actually turned into the failed breakout for the reset of the cycle. So they broke out this week. It failed on this week, week 1, week 2. Week 2 turned into a bit of a consolidated week. Week 3 of the cycle went back up and just kind of closed, as a breakout down. So week 3 was week 1 of breakouts to the downside. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 1 of breakouts down. And then now we have day 1 of breakouts down. So exact same thing as I'm looking for in the other templates. I'm looking for a pump and a dump template over the course of 3 days this week, if something like that were to present. All right, the only problem that I'm having with a lot of these pairs is that they are already running in the gap time. They've already started their moves. They're already running, so I'm going to need to see some things if I were to actually take a trade on these today. Okay, looking at natural gas. Now, this is one of the ones that I looked at for today specifically and said, hey, this is really cut and dry, exactly what I should be looking for. So this is 100% going to make it on my list. Whether or not this trade will actually play out as expected, it's not perfect. Because typically what I like to see is high of current week, previous week's high having been triggered. Specifically whenever we have things like, 3 weeks of breakouts to the upside and then we get this sort of pattern. That's kind of like where I would like to see these. This one might just continue to blow off in a direction for the whole day. I don't know. However, what I am going to talk about is the fact that natural gas has been in breakout to the downside. So it is a down moving market. Breakouts week 1. Nope, zoom out. Yep, okay. Breakouts week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 weeks back down. We got a first green day on Thursday of last week. And then I think this may or may not have been, probably not. Guess not. We got day 2 of the 3-day cycle trending away from day 1 lows. And now we're day 3 of the 3-day cycle. But what I really care about today, and if you all could tell me what pattern I'm about to, well, I guess I already have my notes up there, which is kind of garbage, but it's fine. So day 3 of the 3-day cycle. So it is day 3. And on day 3 of the cycle, I'm going to put my little squares up there. Asia broke out of previous day's high. Now, what's important to me are the details of what is about to happen. Number 1, they have not retested the previous day's high. That is one of the criteria that I need for this trading setup. and it's actually one of the ones listed in my playbook. If it'll pull up. Why is it being so slow? It's just a PDF document. Okay, there we go. Goodness gracious. All right, so when I'm looking at these types of setups, there's a couple different variations that I like to see, but they all have the same characteristics, okay? So breaking out of previous day's high or low, depending on direction, right? Number one. Number two, 3 sessions outside of that breakout. That would be number two. Number three, I want to see no retest. I would prefer not to see any retest of that level. Notice how this has broke out and there's just clean price above that level. That's good. Number four, usually Asia or London is going to put in some kind of like little base, some kind of higher low or lower high that they can trade back through to get back down to this level right here very quickly. All right, so I like to see that. So this gives me my space. And last but not least, what I really like to see is this ramp of volume up into the extreme, because that a lot of times will indicate a fast move back up or back down, in this case back down. But that's not a requirement, but I do like to see that. Then I like to think about which variation I'm looking at. I've got 3 ones that I have identified over time that I've noticed show up over and over again. Number one is they put in a peak, they trade back into that peak, and then it reverses. That one's very common. The next one is a 3 peaks pattern where they stair step it into the high and then reverse. Notice the base, notice the space, notice the ramp, and then the explosion. And then this is the least common one that I have found, but it does still show up fairly frequently. We have the space. We've got a 3 peaks pattern, but they're all more just equal, but they are a little stair step, but it's just a 3 peaks pattern. Notice a little half Batman pattern over here. And then this would be our gap back down to previous day's high, as well as closing price for them to go back down. Now, this one didn't have a ramp, but it is still one of the patterns that I like to look for. Okay, I've gone on a huge detour. My apologies. Let's get back. And here we go. Okay, so now looking at today, the reason I'm going to be watching this pair is we've got our space. We've got our 3 sessions of breakout. We've got our base. And we've got our ramp. We're ramping it up to or into the extremes, into the high. So this would be like peak 1. Or session 1. And then now we're coming up maybe for 2. And then now going up for, we're into 3. So this is definitely a pair that I will be watching today, because of all those reasons that I have just explained. All right, now I need to hurry up through this analysis so I can get my chart set up and I'm not feeling stressed going into the session. As much as I want to provide value, I need to also, provide value for myself. Hey, CAD, I'm just going to throw this out there. I haven't been watching this pair at all because of this reason. I actually made a YouTube video on, and this was one of the examples, and it's still the same example as it was before. Peak formation high, peak formation low, consolidation in the middle. We've been consolidating in the middle now for, I'm not going to sit here and count all those weeks, but a few months. I don't want to trade these trading ranges. No, thank you. Pound dollar. All right, multiple weeks of breakouts to the upside. 1, 2, 3. Failed breakout high, first red week, and first red day. Look at this really nice. This wasn't this first red day. This was the first red day, but very clean, very nice half Batman pattern. Day 1 of breakouts, day 2 of breakouts. That's where we're at. Same template, looking for a pop-up, looking for that sell high. Same thing with Euro USD, very similar. First red day, half Batman pattern. Failed breakout at the high of the month. This was also a first red week. And this one is day 1 of breakouts instead of day 2. Right, looking for that sell high opportunity. And that'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay. I'm going to get my chart set up now so I can actually pay attention to what's going on. It's 8:30 in the morning. 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10. Sometimes gold, metals and things, they've got good first hour trades, but I'm going to pop my stuff up here. I'm going to select the pairs that I've got an abundance of pairs. Honestly, today I really just don't feel like it matters which one. As long as I find one of those ones that I've identified as a good sell high opportunity. All right, this is gold. Let's go look at. Okay, NASDAQ. I'm going to be watching this. Levels are very clear. What I want is very clear, or what I would like to see is very clear. And that's why I'll be watching that. US30, same thing. We've got a really nice consolidation, blocked out down here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a squeeze today to the upside. No big deal. Let's go see if I can find one that's a little bit more jagged. Or at least a better pattern. I'm really not a fan of that pattern either. Day 1 breakouts, week 1 breakouts. All right, so this is broken out to the downside, which means that I would have to look for a pop-up back up to previous day's high, or previous day's low, excuse me, and the close. Is anything popping in the upwards direction? All right, this has made they triggered previous day's low. Let's see, is platinum looking a little bit better? Silver maybe? Okay, silver has triggered the low. They've actually made a full lower low. They closed, they broke down outside. Let's see. Like I said earlier in the stream, ladies and gentlemen, because of the larger picture or the big picture, I am looking for pump and dump templates this week. 3-day templates that tell me the market is ready to continue to go down. I would not be surprised if we saw a short squeeze coming off the lows. Again, not predicting, just using my brain and thinking. All right, I think I'm just going to stick with gold on this one up here. And then I have to watch natural gas. Of course, like I said, there is no guarantee at all that this is going to work out, play out. This could just be a dump over the course of 5 weeks. We've got 5 weeks down. There's a good chance that this is just a very strong breakout high or going higher. So what would I be waiting for? Engulfments from the high of the day back down. All right, I'm going to need to see an M up here. And I think I'm going to choose a currency pair if I can. Where do I want to watch oil? Even though the templates that I know I'm looking for this week look really good, a lot of these, the day themselves, are just not my go-to template. I almost think that the pound might be my best guess. Pound has left this nice little potential magnet to get back down to previous day's low. I really don't like when it does that. It starts putting these little things down here. I never use those. They're useless to me. But then we get them, they chuck them up there and I can't do what I want to do. There we go. All right. All right, I'm going to check the comments and see what you all have been saying. I don't want to accidentally ignore y'all. Gold is exploding. One forgot. Sam, I appreciate that, by the way, the disclaimer thing. I almost completely forgot. Been a little bit since I've done these live streams. Would have been unfortunate. Space, good to see you here. Trading night. Hopefully you got the answer to that question from my explanations of week 1 of breakouts. Now I can look for 3-day templates that pump back up, give me a first red day, and then continue to move. Or I can look for high of day trades. I can look for things like that. Going down. Short. All right, good stuff. Hey, so I'm going to take my face off here. Not because I don't want you all to see me or anything like that, but just so I could feel a little bit more relaxed in the session and things like that. Not that it really matters if you can see my face or not. It's not like that's going to affect anything, but it just makes me feel a bit more relaxed and things like that. So we're going to take my little dome piece off there. And I'm going to get my broker pulled up so I'm well prepped. All right. I'm looking at the screen. You all should be able to see all 4 pairs. You should be able to see exactly what those pairs are. Good. Space, you're already taking trades on gold. Good stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, I see why. You took that trade, Space. Good stuff. In fact, I need to get down to a 5-minute chart and poke around here. For any of you that have been around long enough, you know that I'm generally looking to take trades around, that 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30 time. I don't like taking them as much in the first hour, but when they do present perfectly, squeezes and things, I will indulge, if you will. But take a look at the news calendar as well. Oh no, I deleted it. Naughty me. Okay, let's we'll get that up there for you all real quick. Yep, Space. That's what I get for doing these live streams and not paying attention. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. All right, we got the news calendar for this week. I'm just pulling this off of Forex Factory. Nothing today and tomorrow. No red news. And looks like Wednesday's got quite a bit of Euro GBP news, CAD, and the dollar, 9.45. Thursday, 8:30 news. Friday, 8:30 news. So not too. This is a pretty decent news week as far as the times and the schedule and things like that. I like this. I like this news week. I can live with that. Where can I start my learning journey? Hey, I've got a playlist. Go. It's literally called Watch in Order for Effective Learning. I think I linked it. I linked it in the description of this video. And I'm going to try and link that playlist in the description of the rest of my videos. If it's not there, let me know, and I'll make sure it gets added in. All right, I just pulled up natural gas on my other screen. This was not an engulfment bar. They did not take out the low of the previous bar, which would have been ideal, but, you know, it is what it is. Looking for them to at least make a lower low on the 1 minute chart. Which they have not done yet. It's kind of looking like pound might have been a first hour entry. Marius, it's even in my course, it's, how do I explain this? So in the course, right? Or just, let's just back out for a second. In trading in general, the only three things markets do, which is something that I discussed in depth with that. And the market maker templates and things like that, right? Think about the three things that markets do when they break out, they pull back, they trend, they break out, they reverse. Day one of the cycle. Something that Stacey talks about and other traders as well. You know, you get day one breakouts or that first day of breakout pullback. Stacey talks about it in reference to you look for 3 levels of rise the day after day one breakouts. But also understanding that there's an opportunity for a failed breakout that day. One of my most recent videos, I talk pretty extensively about that kind of stuff. If the market is, let's put it this way. If the market has broke out of a previous day's low, and this style of trading dictates that we're now looking for, or in general, right, we're looking for 3 levels of rise and fall. That's like part of the system, right? We're looking for high of day, low of day trades. And we're looking to take those trades from levels. Well, what kind of trade should I be looking for if I have a breakout? Well, my understanding of the market tells me that it only does 3 things. It's either going to reverse, and we're going to get a reversal either that day or the following day, or maybe now with day one of breakouts, I can look for 3 levels of rise for a high of day trade to continue the trend. If we think about it in retail terms, people who are trend following or using EMAs or maybe a higher time frame or something like that, you know, we're looking to get in on a pullback. That's like the simplest way to put it. But the way that we're looking for the presentation of price is 3 levels of rise, maybe a stair-stepping pattern. We're looking to take trades from the high of the day. You know, things like that. We're looking for peak formations, you know, those little M's and the W's. And so in the simplest terms are market only does 3 things. And because it's broken out, I'm going to look for it to do either one of those 2. Or the more complicated and more detailed version of that would be, because it is broken out, I can now look for 3 levels of rise, the stair-stepping pattern. I'm looking for traps at the high of the day. I'm looking for evidence of traders being trapped. I'm looking for peak formations, you know, those types of things. Hopefully I just didn't make it crazy complicated, but the simple explanation combined with the more detailed explanation is it. That's all there is to it. 3 levels, 3 pushes, 3 sessions, 3 days, 3 weeks. Caslo, good stuff. You don't have gold as day 3? Did I make a mistake? I could have made a mistake. I'm a human. I am a human being. Day 1. Day 2. Was I looking at the wrong pair? Day 3. Day 1, day 2. Yes, this is day 2. Good catch, Caslo. Apparently I forgot how to count. If you can count to 3, Stacey would say you can make a lot of money. But first you have to learn to count to 3, okay? Poor jokes. Anyways, day 1, failed breakout high. Did I say that earlier in the video, Caslo, that gold was day 3? Or am I just... I did say that? Oh, my fault. Day 1, failed breakout high of week. Day 2, day 3. Day 3 turns into a reset. This is a breakout day. So now we have day 1. The idea being, are we going to trend away from day 1 highs or trend away from day 1 lows? Or is day 2 just going to turn into a consolidated day? One of the things that Taylor from Taylor Trading Technique back in the 50s when he wrote his book, one of the things he said was a lot of times day 2 will become a consolidated day. So we'll see. Okay, 45 minutes into the hour. A new 15-minute bar is about to form in 1 minute. Okay, so this was not an engulfment. Now we have a pin to the low. We pinned down into the EMA. We didn't go below the EMA. Tells me that I definitely need to wait, or I'm wrong altogether for the day. That's okay. Let's see. Gold. Pretty big down close bar. Now we have an inside bar. Double inside. Well, not really double inside, but both inside this previous bar's range. Okay, new 15-minute bar just formed. You can take a look at the 15 and see how that bar formed. Gold wound up being a lower close in the previous 15-minute bar. I feel like I've already missed the pound. See if there's anything else that's maybe just doing a little something better. Got to see that pop up. Am I coming back to the daily live streams? Yes. I've been very, very inactive on YouTube and other things, and I'm not going to make excuses of any kind. I just, honestly, completely telling the truth, I've just been enjoying life. I got married this year. God has blessed me with so many different things. I've just been enjoying them. But I feel it's time to come back and start. I kind of miss it. I actually miss it quite a bit. I've been enjoying, and now I'm starting to feel like it's time to come back. Thank you very much. We got married back in back in April. All right, I'm going to take a look at the NASDAQ real quick. So we had, notice that 5-minute bar. Got this little consolidation now at the high. Watching this behavior at the high of the day. Especially coming into the open. What do I think of Bitcoin? I really don't watch Bitcoin. There's so much hype around cryptocurrency, but I just never could be bothered. Let's see. I do have futures wise. Let's go. Okay, last week was week 1 of breakouts to the upside on Bitcoin. First red day, first day down, second day down. Then we get a little reversal. Really no signal days though. No signals coming into a Monday. Nothing I could really do with that. Also, you can see this nice like curl to the upside. 1, 2, and then maybe now we're up into 3. Drive, pause, drive, like push 1, 2, maybe now 3. That's my thesis. That's my idea. Now I need to watch the high of the day. But again, like I said, keeping in mind that with 5 weeks down, there's high probability or potential that this is, you know, curling. Maybe it's curling to go back up. So I don't want to be overconfident or anything like that. I'm not going to force anything. Anthony, hello. The indicators are in the description of all my videos. I've got them linked. For the pips to profit indicator, though, if that's something you want, it's free. My Discord is free. The link's down below in the description. You just have to go there, and it's in the indicators section on Discord. It's not a public indicator, that's why, but it is free, and so is the Discord and all that stuff. So. Here's the list. You can use that as to see which ones I'm using. Okay, 8:52. We've got 8 minutes to a new hour. Really, the only bad thing about doing this on YouTube is when I have OBS and I'm running and I'm streaming this, my computer, like, it's hurting. It's screaming for help. It starts lagging real bad. Boy, platinum is just running away. Is there any better patterns that I can look for? Any other Monday templates that are looking decent? Oh, that's the CAD. We don't want to. Things that are just running away are not my. I could put that on a t-shirt. Running away is not my forte. Sam, I think that you could probably really benefit from that last video that I just posted on YouTube, talking about expectations and beginner mindset and things like that, giving you some perspective on the overall trading concept. It doesn't come overnight, that's for sure. Just got to keep working at it. That video was very... In the rest of that series, I've got 4 more videos that are going to be coming out over the course of the next few weeks. The series is... I guarantee you it's going to do really bad as far as viewership goes, because it's not really catering to my normal viewers or whatever, but... Or at least not until I get into the advanced topics, but... Okay, so what I'm noticing here... 1, 2, 3... what I was saying was, those videos are going to do really bad, but I'm starting at the very beginning, as if I was on my very first day, and trying to go from that perspective of people, and then work up into this style of trading and all of its detail and factors and things. Yep, day 2. It's Monday. We could just have a consolidated choppy session on gold. I've just got it up there because I really don't have anything else for today specifically that I'm chomping at the bit. These are really the only 2 that I'm mainly focused on right now. That's the NASDAQ and natural gas. Really, I could probably just put only those 2 up there, and if I don't get a trade on either of those pairs, then I'd probably be okay. But in fact, I kind of like US30 more than gold. And to Caslo's point, let's take a look. This is day 3. This actually is day 3 before Caslo, before you yell at me. All right, just playing. Fail breakout day 1, day 2, and now day 3. I probably should be watching this instead of gold. This real clean rectangle is 2 thumbs up. Or at least put eyes on it. Let's see if I can... I need to make this a little bit different, because this is too much. Got too much going on right now. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to leave it like this. Can you all see that okay? Everything's still able to be seen all right? I think just focusing on these 3 would be the best. So I've got 2 pairs up here that I really need to wait for 9:30 if this isn't set up before natural gas. If natural gas doesn't set up before 9:30, which as of right now it has not. Now, if this bar would have engulfed the previous bar, this would be a different conversation. I would be looking for things in the immediate right now. I'd be watching this pair with hawk eyes. Okay, NASDAQ gut punching everybody who's decided to sell this 1, 2, 3 back down. It's good behavior. I like to see that. Caslow, so if that happens, here we go. Where'd my playbook go? Did I close it? Where did it go? If that's happening, Caslow, there's got to be some other presentation that I would be looking at. These are all the different kinds that I'm looking for. All right, we could have a day 2 of the cycle, and then you get a day 3 back in line, maybe with the larger template, the weeks of breakouts or something like that. I passed that a while ago, Moody. I'm working on getting more. I'm gonna try. I'm maxing out all the accounts, so I can copy trade. That's my current goal. I want to copy trade on 5 accounts. Because the charts are the same, Moody. It's the levels on the futures charts though. They like the previous day's high and low and the close are a little bit different. So I look at the forex charts because of that reason. Okay, we're 2 minutes into a new hour. It's now 9 o'clock. 5 minutes in. We got this big push down and fairly large rejection, which has created a huge breakout, fake out bar down there. But still no lower low on the 1 minute chart. No lower lows on the 5 minute. We just continue to trail higher and higher. This hour also opened up on the inside of the previous hour's high and low. Looking at natural gas. I really like the template for natural gas. That's what the one I'm mainly focusing on. Okay, NASDAQ, we got a little push back up there to the high of the day. Very nice. All right, we're getting some good volatility, good stuff. Back to the high of the day on NASDAQ. Still no reason to take action on anything. Okay, we got a little bit of a 1, 2, 3 back up to the high of the day, but still just going vertical. No engulfment back down. $9.12. We've got 3 minutes to a new 15-minute bar, and more time than that to the New York Open. Okay, with that little breakout fake out bar, they should flush through it. If that doesn't happen, there's a good chance that I'm thinking about the wrong thing. Things are timing incorrectly. Maybe they're going to go back to the high of the day. But if it flushes through, then I'm going to continue looking for that setup that I talked about at the beginning of the stream. Whereas right now they're just working down at that level and not actually following through. Can you see it now? All right, good. Still no lower low. It's just kind of pitter-pattering down there at that area that I had that low at. Did this little 1, 2, 3 back up, 1, 2 sideways 3 engulfment. That's kind of the beginning of the trade. If it is actually going to follow through and do as hoped. Talking about up here, TR? This new hour being an inside hour, would really like to see them break out now to the downside for this hour. That'd be good. Oh gosh, I wonder if I can adjust. There we go. I'm going to pull up my little stream screen over here so I can maybe get it for you all to where it's all in the picture here. Oh gosh. Trying to get it centered. There we go. Should be a little bit easier to see it now. Okay, 5 minute has done this nice 1, 2, 3 up on NASDAQ. We're at the high of the day. No lower low. We're just continuing to go vertical. We did have those 3 days of breakouts. We've come out of a large consolidation and we're going vertical. I don't want to just sell because it's going higher. I need things to tell me because I'm not going to catch the falling knife, if you will. That would be silly. Getting a bit of a channel forming now on natural gas. I know how to trade channels, so I can wait and see if this... There we go. And we do have trapping behavior. This breakout fake out bar was the first attempt to go back up. Probably getting people to go long, shaking them out of their shorts, making them scared, making them afraid. And each time that we get a bar that goes back up, we're not allowing those previous people to get out and then trailing and pulling lower. That's good. That's what I like to see. Nine minutes to the New York Open. Not looking to take any trades in the meantime. We're too close to the Open. I'm just going to wait. On your chart, this one was an engulfment? See, that's crazy. Because that 1, 2, 3 would have meant a lot more to me if that bar would have closed lower than that previous bar. Very well. In fact, let me look at my... No, on my other broker, it's still not an engulfment. Well, the game we play, right? Different broker having different closes. Victoria, good stuff. That's what I love to hear. Victoria, ever since the webinar, how have you been doing? I haven't talked to you in a really long time. I hope this is the same Victoria, or else this is going to be really awkward. Okay, good. Good stuff. All right, good. It's good to hear you're doing well. You were in a while ago. Wait, Victoria, did you you started your own YouTube? Oh, very cool. Okay, NASDAQ, no 5-minute engulfment to the downside. We don't have any downwards pressure at all, just skyrocketing. Nothing I can do with that. Maybe going back to the high of the previous day. That's a good... Let's do one of these. Okay, so if this is going to turn into a... I need to go to a higher time frame real quick. Let's see. Is this a peak formation? Oh, very nice. All right, I'm looking for a pop-up. Railroad tracks, high of day. Everything we discussed earlier. This is a good peak formation. Could this flip around and go vertical and just continue to go higher? Yep. Okay. Got that. That's the worst case scenario. Railroad tracks, high of day, peak formation high. We're broke down under the EMA now. I need some kind of pop-up. US30 back at the high of the day. How have they moved off of the low? We made a little peak formation. And then to a bit of a stair step. Three minutes to the open. One, two, very convincing bars. Sideways, maybe three. If this 5-minute bar closes lower than the previous two bars lows, that would be considered an extended M at the high of the day. That's a big if. That is a big if. That is speculation and hopes and dreams. That is not a guarantee for sure. Yep, natural gas just made that lower low, so now I have my break-in structure down, which I'm going to annotate on my other screen here. Yeah, it would be nice to see them hit the previous day's high first, but we'll see. 2 minutes to the open. Also, this is my least favorite kind of peak formation. When they have equal highs like this, I know this bar's way up here. There's wick. I got it. But how it's like flat, I'm not a huge fan of those. And I found that a lot of times they do just go right back up. So I would not be surprised. I would not be shocked. US30 is going absolutely bonkers into the open. We got 1, 2, 3 5-minute bars back to the high. One of the biggest bull bars I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's see what happens on this next 5-minute bar. Reality, we could just be breaking out of a rectangle, and now we're going back towards the high. Again, that would be in line with my thesis that I made this earlier this morning about being careful and not getting squeezed out. Again, all speculation and lots of ifs in this. Let's skip those ads for you all. Dude, are you okay? What are you doing? I think my dog's got the hiccups. Always freaks me out. Okay, I'm watching the NASDAQ. Good call, TR. There's a delay on this. So you... Okay, did you just throw up on my floor? I'm going to be really upset. You did not throw up on my floor. Thank you. I've got this little black couch in my office, and the only reason I have it in here is for the sake of my dogs. It's literally just a dog couch, but she's over there chewing on her bone. She started getting the hiccups or whatever's going on with her right now. Okay, NASDAQ. Watch the NASDAQ. Or I'm not telling you to watch it, but I'm watching it for sure. Still got eyes on natural gas. But the NASDAQ has just shifted to my primary focus, unless this turns into just a massive pen bar. That is a huge entry bar for a 5-minute chart, but how many pips is this? Yeah, that's way too big. Okay, so we need to... think about what area would be good. So that idea about 1, 2, sideways 3 is shaping up to be a decent thought. But my entry bar is way too big. This 5-minute bar has not closed. They've came out of this consolidation stair step 1, 2, 3, ending in 1, 2, sideways 3, 1, 2. This should be the trap within that 3 push pattern. But overall, my thoughts, if this were to take out this high and go lower than that high, those people are going to be caught, and I should be targeting closing price or down towards in that area. I'm just saying a lot of ifs. That's a lot of ifs. But that is my thoughts as of right meow. It's a really bad time to feel overhydrated. All right, I'm coming back. 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. 17 seconds left on this 5-minute bar. NASDAQ could go back up twice as fast or just as fast as it came back down. Watching that. US30 continuing to go vertical. Yep. Today's a good example of how thesis might change on a dime. Might flip on a whim. We'll see. They've came out of the high of the day. 1, 2, maybe 3. But this, like I said earlier in the session, this might just be a large consolidation breakout. We'll see. Still have eyes on US or on Nasdaq, excuse me. This peak formation high is still valid for me, even though we didn't close down below this low. All right, ideally, what I don't want to see, don't let this guy out. All right, he's caught. He's hoping and praying. He's begging for mercy. Please come back up and allow me out of the trade. I was long, and now I'm desperate. Based off of 1, 2, sideways 3, and what I believe to be or could be the third level. If they let him out, I'm wrong, and that's all the validation I need to continue with the mindset. It's quite a large opening range for the New York session. All right, so we're back up in that area. This guy's getting blipped into profit. He's thanking, throwing up his little prayer hands. Thank you so much for letting me out of this trade, or blipping me into profit. Maybe it's actually going to go up and I can make some money. Let's see if they allow that guy to make money. Oh, they're allowing him to make money. It was a big fake out. All right. Good information to have. Very good information to have. That's why you can sit here and speculate and say all these different things, but things can change on a dime. They can flip on a dime. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm trying to pay attention and talk at the same time. Banner, that's a pretty good thesis. Regardless of anything that I've said, I still have no reason to enter. So that's good enough for me. This is like a kind of a cool way to think about it or explain it would be like we get a first red day, and then this is like the trap move. We're gonna see here. Okay, new 5-minute bar just formed. They're letting this guy back into profit. They triggered previous day's high. US30, no engulfment down at all. We've just got 5-minute bars going up into the high. Same thing with natural gas. I have no reason to enter. If anything, it's looking mighty trap-like. I'm going to make rounds. Go take a look at... I stopped watching gold. What is gold doing? Oh, no thank you. Platinum. Ooh, no thanks. We're 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the New York Open. No engulfment. Nothing in line with thesis. Oil, oh yeah, okay. I could just keep going, that's fine, but I don't care. Don't care. I'm not... CAD. Funny enough, even with the trading range, the CAD still looks, on the day itself, doesn't look bad, but I'm not abandoning my idea. Okay, had a down close thesis for the day. Beginning of the session came down. Oh, that's so dirty. So dirty. 1, 2, 3 to the low. Consolidation. If I'm looking for a short opportunity, that is not what I want to see. Okay, I'm sticking with what I've got. Even if it's even if I'm wrong altogether for the day, that's fine. I still got a larger perspective of the week, and I'll just be patient and wait. Had a pretty good trading week last week. I'm not in any hurry. Oh, I'm wrong all the time. I'm wrong all the time because I can't predict anything. If I could predict, all I can do is look at the template and say this is what I think based off of how things are presenting. But if the day itself doesn't do what I would like to see, then, well, that's all I've got. I just have to have the discipline to, even though it's not doing what I expected at the beginning or what I believe the template should be telling me, having the discipline to just not take a trade is, I think that's far more important to me than being right and wrong. Australian dollar pairs. I don't think those are ones that I can trade with futures. And my computer's with the volume increase and everything, and I've got the YouTube going. It's screaming for help right now. I trade on a laptop. It's a gaming laptop. It's pretty good. It's really fast. But one thing I've noticed is when I start streaming and trying to do trading and all these other things, it starts begging, please, can you stop doing this? Okay, so what has happened is now we have peak formation low, peak formation high, NASDAQ 1 minute chart. They've spiked down, they've spiked up. So we had a lower low put in place, and now they've made a higher high. Okay, I had this marked off down here. This right here, this low. Spiked down, lower low, spiked up, higher high. So now we're in peak formation low, peak formation high. That's the pattern that we're currently trading in. And I need to respect that and continue to watch. Apparently US30 has decided to do whatever. That's fine. 25 seconds on this 5 minute bar. High of the day. Is the high of the day about to fail? One, two, three. Oh, that bar didn't turn out as the third bar. What was my large thesis on this? Weak close. Okay, so I was looking for a sell high. That's good. All right, let's watch how this bar closes. Okay, so this 5 minute bar has closed in a decent place. Still understanding that within this consolidation, if I traded short in this consolidation in itself, my best fill probably was like in this general area here. So are we going to let those guys into profit? Yes, we are. We're at least going to blip them in. Are they going to give me an opportunity to enter, though? That's a massive, massive entry bar. Really no opportunity to get in. Unless I traded primarily the 1 minute chart. 936 was the engulfment. 939 was the breakout fake out bar. And 942 was the flush. So 942 would have ideally been my entry. if I was just mainly focused on the 1 minute chart, but I was not. And I said this so many times throughout this past year and in the past in general. I am not good with A tops and V bottoms. I'll say that louder for the ones in the back. I am not good at A tops and V bottoms. When it just spikes up and then goes straight back down, or straight down and then goes straight back up, that is not for me. These big trap moves on NASDAQ. US30, absolutely no opportunity for me to enter at this current time. Okay, natural gas, that made that lower low, which means that the high of the day is the high. Of course, that is just 1 minute chart. That is nothing else, so that's not exactly the... With 5 weeks of breakouts down, I would not be surprised to see this just continue to go vertical. Why didn't you take the inside pin? You're talking about this one right here on NASDAQ? Oh. That is not... It's not my playbook. This is not one of the setups that I'm looking for. And that is not what I was looking for at the beginning of the day, so... that would be like me basically trying to trade direction, which is what I'm trying to avoid at all costs. You know, just because it's going higher, which is fine. It's good that it's going higher, you know. But if it's not, you know, perfectly out of my playbook, then I'm not going to execute that trade. What I can do is I can identify to myself and say, hey, that's not something that you normally look for. That's not my repeatable pattern that I want to see. And it'll keep me out of a bad trade, which is good. Yeah, I missed some really good trend moves and things like that, but I'm very okay with missing trades compared to... Like, if I miss a trade, I don't feel anything about it. I could care less. But if I take a trade that's not out of my playbook, then it's like I'm breaking the rules and I start feeling gross. And that would have been an instance where I'm just trading direction and I would have felt gross. Natural gas. Really big. Silver? Let's go take a glance at silver. Have they popped back up and working a level? Okay, so they triggered previous day's low. Put in this little peak formation. Stepped it up there. I still don't like this pattern. It's still not the pattern for me. Teach their own, yeah. 100%. Everybody's going to have what they're most comfortable with. You know, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses for sure. Which thesis? Which one? I know, but on which pair? Maybe. One of the really big things that I do, and for very good reason, is I do not look at any pair or any other chart other than the chart that I'm currently trading to help me make decisions. And I'm not saying that you're trying to do that, but um, that is a big, big no-no for me because then I start getting analysis paralysis and well, this is doing this, so this should absolutely do that. Yeah, no. Not so much. At the very least, we've gone to the outside, which is good. I do like that. You know, we've broken above previous day's high, outside of the previous New York session. But there's just no... Okay, we've got 6 minutes to the new hour open. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right, so natural gas still consolidating on the inside of that previous bar. Notice how they pinned down and then they pinned up. Okay, I took the short on US30. Targeting closing price for partials. All right, partials have been taken. Overall, I have no idea where I should be targeting because I have been focusing on the wrong things. Cameron, what are you doing? All right, we got that gap down there, that space to fill. I'm going to target the low of the day overall. Okay, we got 2 minutes to a new hour. If we don't get there, I'm closing. Might just lock it in anyways. It's already an exceptionally decent trade. Let's see. I'll give it a second. I already took partials. I've gotten paid. I'm sitting pretty as it is. Overall target was going to be low of the day. If we get a little bit more follow through on this, or if it blows off a little bit more, I'll just close. I'm taking that. I'm going to pop down just a little bit more. How many seconds we got left? 3. I'm taking that. And that's it. Good stuff. New hour opened up. We might get the follow through. The rest of the follow through, I'm not going to complain with what I just got. It was a beautiful trade. Went into the session with solid plan. Okay, natural gas. I'm probably not going to take another trade, but if I was watching natural gas still, 1, 2, 3 to the high, big bars to the high. Are they going to let... Let's see this guy. All right, US30 probably should have held. No big deal. I'm not mad about it. It's still almost 100 pips in, what, a few minutes? I'm going to explain what I just did on the net, or on the Dow. All right, you see how fast my mood kind of changed, shifted from we don't really have anything to there it is, because I mean that's how fast things kind of shift for me. I already said it, the 1, 2, 3 out of the high of the day. I was already looking for a sell high opportunity. Day one breakouts. Over 150 pips off the low of the previous day, and off of the close, let's take a look and see. 150 pips, so 3 levels of rise to the high of the day. Day one breakouts to the downside. We had a weak close. That's important to me. High of the day, they did the 1, 2, 3. That 5-minute bar engulfed back down, taking out all those people. This bar right here made me nervous, but 1, 2, 3 to the high. My idea, and from the boot camp, remember, any of you who have the boot camp and you know what I'm talking about, or you've just heard me talk in the past. 1, 2, 3 to the high. The idea is that that first or that second bar is the one that makes people take action. Third usually is the one that makes people take action at the worst possible place in the chart. I need evidence of that. A top. I can't trade A tops to save my life, and that's okay, because then this 5-minute bar closed as a pin, but they still didn't let this guy out. 1 minute chart, there's my descending triangle and my little double top sort of action that I needed to see in order to take this trade. Okay, so I needed an engulfment of that. That was this bar for me. 955. Good stuff, Victoria. Love to hear that. Free cash Dow. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, NASDAQ. I think NASDAQ was probably the worse choice of the two as of right now. I don't know if it's still going to continue to go lower. Natural gas, we got that third spike to the high. 1, 1, 2, 3. Now we have an engulfment. Obviously, I'm not in this trade. Take a look at the 1, see. Oh, look at that 3 push pattern. What a clean 3 push pattern. 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. Now, of course, who knows? You know, unless this actually follows through and continues to break down, we might just be in consolidation in a trading range between a high and a low. For confirmation of that, they would need to continue to make lower lows and lower highs. If they don't do that, then you know, this is just a trading range. But that is a very clean, nice 3 push pattern. Engulfment. There's a little pin hammer. Good Monday. Now, I don't know if you noticed how I exited this trade. A lot of times when I take trades right before the new hour, and it starts to follow through, it's really good. And there are a lot of cases that it just will continue to follow through, which is exactly what US30 has done today. But in a lot of cases, you know, I'm taking this trade. It's blowing off in the direction coming into the new hour. I don't exit because it looks really good. The chart feels clean. You know, it's moving. And then the new hour opens, and we immediately go back into consolidation, and even sometimes reverse, which means that I've missed out on a lot of profit because I was trying to hold on and I was greedy. So new hour, we're about to open. You know, I'm very happy to just take that off and lock it in. I'm logging out of that. We're locking that in. We're shutting her down. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, really good stream. Thank you all for participating. I'm only going to continue to do these if people continue to show up and enjoy. If not, then I'll just go back to Discord and do them there. But I think that as of right now, I'm going to do this for a few weeks and kind of see how it goes. Hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you have learned something, whether that's a lesson in patience and what to look for and maybe analysis at the beginning of the stream. You saw how I did my analysis and why I was looking for what I was looking for. How I didn't stray away from, even though, you know, it looks like price is going to continue to do this or whatever, you know, not chasing the direction, but waiting for the setup to show up and present. And then once it does, analyzing the data that's in front of me and saying, there's my pattern, there's my trade, I'm going to take it. If you did learn something, please just leave a little like on the stream. It really does help. Appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same exact time, 8 a.m., ready to go. Bye-bye.